So I've got another new plant off the internet. There's a couple of problems. Firstly, that it's really kind of pouring, and secondly, the postman wasn't quite as clever this time. Last time it was duly delivered the right way up, but this time it was lying down, which is not the right way up, so we'll soon see if the plant has fared well or not. Well, at first glance that actually looks better than I might have expected. I just wish I could get it straight into the ground, but unless I want to get very wet, I might wait for a little break in the rain, hopefully. There we go. Not too bad. So I should probably tell you what my new plant is. It's another sage to go next to this wood sage, and also to hopefully go along with the blue gentian sage that I'm not yet convinced is actually going to come back this year. I think it may have died over the winter, but we'll see. But yes, as I mentioned in my very first video, went to Tintersfield, saw a very nice purple sage that the bees were going crazy for, and I feel that would be a marvellous centrepiece, as it were, for this front bed. So I've stood this plant in this puddle of water so it gets a drink. A bit low tech. They sent me a nice little instruction book on how to plant my plant. It said, put in a wheelbarrow of water to give it a good drink when you take it out of the postage stuff. I don't have a wheelbarrow, so collapsed pizza box we'll have to do. Over here is where it needs to go, and you can see the rain stopped and I'm even getting a bit of a glimmer of sunshine now. So you can see, yesterday I was talking about removing this herb robber, and you can see I have removed quite a lot of it, except I didn't really remove it per se. The wind kind of battered it all down, so it kind of just fell off pretty much, the root down here. So that'll grow back, but just chilled it out for a bit. As for this thing, I think I've figured it out. It's not a weed, it's a bedding plant that I bought last summer that's got out of control. So yeah, before I knew what I was doing, I just bought a tray of cheap petunias and begonias and stuff at the supermarket, and my parents assured me that they were just summer bedding plants, so as soon as winter rolled around the frost would kill them all off and I'd have a blank state for putting in slightly more permanent choices the next season. But because we had such a mild winter, that hasn't died off. There's another one here, that was a lobelia or begonia or something. So basically they're all scattered around everywhere, just these remnants of bedding plants, I think. So I'm debating whether I should just rip that all out to make room for my new salvia, or just try and move it, because it does seem to be quite successful in this location. It always seems a shame to remove a successful plant, so I'm kind of wondering if I should try and move it from here to that gap or something like that. And you might think, why not just put the salvia there, but it's a 1.5 metre tall, so it needs to be the centrepiece and have this kind of up and down shape to the overall verticality of the bed. So still trying to decide what to do with that, but first of all I need some lunch. So there we go, dug it out, decided I couldn't be bothered to move it, so I've just taken it out. I did think about moving it here, like I said, but there's another one of it just there, so if it wants to spread, it can just spread. So now, dig a hole, get it in, popped it in, and then I think I'll just add a bit more compost. compost added. I just need to water it in. I'm using used sage, getting a very discreet little dappling of some sunlight, which unfortunately is about as much as it will get for another month or so before the sun starts rising a bit more to the northeast and setting a bit more to the northwest. It's also a bit windy today, but I'm sure it'll be fine, although you can see the damage done to the rose campion with the heavy wind overnight or yesterday. So now we can see last year's wood sage regrowing, and behind it this year's purple sage Amistad. Nicely between the lavender and the rose campion. So I'll look forward to that growing and flowering.